Good morning, guys. Once again, welcome to Career Counseling Online. Hopefully, all of you are doing great. Fantastic. Well, thank you. I'm doing good myself, safe and sound. Well, today we are going to talk about a situation which is prevailing these days a lot in the career world, which is a job change. A change in the job is a very significant step in any employee's life. Many times we feel completely stuck up, we feel completely mundane, we feel completely fatigued out of our day-to-day work which is being expected. It's not that the work is getting boring, it's not that the work is getting too easy for me. The main thing is we believe that we could have been much more contributive and we could have done more, and yet, the kind of work that I'm doing on day-to-day basis is not really adding much value to what my profile is. It's a very common situation. Why does this happen? Is because many a times our skill sets are not aligned to our deliverables. Now what happens is many a times an organization is also going through a lot of changes, a lot of process changes, a lot of technology changes, and the main thing is the employees who are doing a particular job is doing the same job again and again and on and on. So the organization has to go for an outside resource to deliver the new kind of responsibilities. Now, I'll talk today on perspective of the employees, in a sense, like why is it that an organization or the employee or the employer has to look for an opportunity or a resource outside the organization? For the employers, it would have been much easier to involve an existing resource into a higher designated position, into a high responsibility position. What that would do is it would create a kind of long-term vision with the employees. At the same time, the employees are benefited. They can cut down the cost of training regarding to the process, the walkthroughs and everything, and they can have somebody within the process take over this responsibility immediately as per the requirement of the time. But that doesn't happen. Now, why does that not happen? See, we will talk today on perspective of the employees. See, the employers need certain skill sets when they are going through a certain change, either technically or through process related ways. The main thing is when they look back within their existing resources, they literally, I've spoken to many employers and many HRs as to why they look for resources outside the organization. See, one point is very valid when they say that they are looking for a fresh look, they're looking for a fresh outlook of the process, they're looking for somebody with an out-of-box experience. And it is very obvious when somebody is into the process, they know the process so well that sometimes it becomes a hindrance. They cannot think outside the process. Sometimes that is the reason why employers looks for resources outside the organization. But it is not always 100% the same reason. Many a times I've spoken to the employers. They have mentioned that when they wanted somebody, right? When they wanted somebody to take care of this new process or the new change or the new kind of shift in the process or the technology, they couldn't find the suitable candidate. They couldn't find the person who could take over immediately and deliver. Now, why is that happening? Let's talk about in terms of the employees' point of view. See, employees many a times, out of 100, 90% I would say are under the misimpression of, they have this thought like whenever they have to think of a job change, they have to think outside the organization. Well, that is not always the right situation. You can look for the job change, the role change, the position change, the designation change within the organization, but you have to do a couple of things before you even go up to the management and present yourself for the new position. The employer would also be very happy to promote you to a higher position with new responsibility, new roles. But the thing is, your skill sets needs to be aligned with the present requirement, right? Now, many a times I have seen what happens is, like if somebody is into a particular pattern of job or particular skill sets or working, like if he or she is a coder, the person is concentrating more and more on writing codes. But the thing is that sometimes gets as monotonous. Okay, many a times that fails you from delivering the best. You could have been much more better if you could have moved after many years of being the coder, if you would have moved into the quality department, that might have added a new perspective to your work, new deliverables, that might have provided you a new challenge to use yourself to contribute and feel more interactive, feel more involved in the process. Now when that lags, you are under the impression that I go out of this organization, I look for a new roles, a new responsibility, and that new role and responsibility will offer me what I'm looking for. But the main thing is, we're overlooking as employees couple of points. First thing is, why is it that the employer has to look for a new resource with new skill sets? Why is it that you as a present employee do not? Why don't you upgrade your skills? You learn new skills, you learn new technologies, and you present yourself in front of the management as somebody who's going to be capable enough to take care of the new change or change in the process, change in the technology, and can deliver. Because you need to understand, you were taken an interview. Let's say you have been working in this company for past 5 years. Past 5 years, the company, the organization, the management has known you as a very good coder, somebody who's very good with writing codes. But the management does not know whether you have that kind of technical skills to understand a quality assurance, whether you are upgraded, up to date with the kind of quality parameters that is expected to be maintained in the international market while software development happens. Now what they do is, the employer starts looking for somebody with those skills, with quality assurance, quality management outside the organization. And when they find somebody, they give a higher pay, they bring that person back and they train the person, then they make a head of the quality. And you have a problem with that. You as an employee have a problem with that. You say that I've been writing the code for this organization past 5 years, and somebody, Tom, Dick, and Harry, comes up and starts propagating the kind of new policies, new rules, and new parameters for the quality assurance. But the guys, you need to understand, you didn't upgrade your skills. You didn't update your skills. I mean, I remember when I was working with one organization, which I joined after I came back from Bangalore, working with HP. I was working with a client experience team, wherein we were handling customers all across the world, and we were working with online revenue management softwares, and those were pretty complex softwares. We were working, great. We were working as a team, and everything is fine. But I always had this pang, because I had this dream when I was working with HP to be a master black belt someday in quality. So, after 3 or 4 years of working, I remember I went up to the CTO and mentioned that, sir, I want to go for a Six Sigma Green Belt certification, and I need a leave for that. I need 10 days leave, study leave, and my exams leave. And it was something which my manager immediately refused to give. So I had to walk up to the CTO and mention that I am looking for this training. I want to go for this because eventually I want to move on into quality. That is something that I always dreamed about. I literally thought about developing process, managing shift in the process, managing deviations, and so on. So I understood that a green belt, or a Six Sigma green belt, would let me understand those and help me contribute in a way wherein I can put in more passion. Customer support is till date my passion. I love talking to customers. I love handling situations. I love handling escalations. I love handling process management. But the thing is, still, along with that, what I now love is working on process improvement. Now, a process improvement and, going by the process is completely different. A process improvement, for understanding a process improvement, you need to have those technical trainings, which we went through Six Sigma Green Belt, wherein we understood how to measure deviation. What is the deviation? Why a deviation is always to be monitored? How can we monitor those? See, all these technical skills I never knew when I was working as a customer support, executive. Okay, so the thing is, I always understood the customer experience. I always understood the way they communicated. Our communication was good, absolutely fine. But the thing is, once I went through the Six Sigma Green Belt training, I understood how better the process could have been, how much time we could have saved in communication, what kind of simple parameters change could enhance the customer experience. So now what happened was, once I was trained into that, I understand I understood those process much better. I remember my team manager asking me like, you are a customer support, engineer, and what are you supposed to do? Trying to study Six Sigma Green Belt, because those are for managers, those are for directors to understand process, wherein they will be working on process and so on. But the thing is, he was not looking into the kind of passion that I had to process improvement, because I understood that to make a better customer experience, the process has to be improved. And how? It is not by just meeting something or talking about it. It has to be done technically. It has to be done through a certain skill of studying the SWOT analysis, and everything has to be done, which we were not trained of. And that is the reason, the delay time is there, the ticket time, the ticket raise, the ticket resolves time, the AHT, SLA, everything is getting affected. Now, once I went through this, I was able to understand the process much better. So for the employees, it is much essential that you constantly upgrade your skills. And you go into a diversified fields, or not only related to what you are doing presently. You need to move on to cross fields, wherein you understand the process, wherein you understand the organizational hierarchy, wherein you understand international relation. Because the thing is, if you are into a particular field all by yourself, altogether, there is little scope for you to expand. And unless you can expand, you cannot feel connected, you cannot feel contributive. Only thing that you will do is you will jump around, hop around to various organizations. Your CV would show, big brands, big names, but you will be just hopping around. And with very seasoned HR, it will be very difficult for you to convince them that you were looking for change, you were looking for. The thing is, that will give the message to the present HR who might be interviewing you, that even today, if they take you on board, you will be there for 6 months or major to major 1 year, and you will be leaving. So even the HRs and the managements do not like resources who are hopping around, who are jumping around. Now, second point comes is, I would say, keep your documents updated. Like when I talk about documents, it means your CV, your LinkedIn profile. I have seen that many people do go through a lot of certification, they learn new technologies, they learn new skills, but hardly those are reflected on their LinkedIn profile, or hardly they are reflected on their CV, because they might have a formatted CV which they had been using. And you need to understand, each and every role that you are applying for, the skill has to keep on changing. Right? You need to understand, you need to do a bit of research about what that particular position is looking for. Yes, if a particular position is looking for quality in terms of software development, yes, writing codes and programs is an integral part about it. But that cannot come first when you are applying for a quality assurance team related to the software development. There you have to mention your skills related to quality monitoring, quality testing, and load testing of the software, and report making, review report, and so on. What does that do to the management, present organization, is that they find you as a potential resource for the new position that might be popping up in the future. And then they have it in the back of your mind that, okay, this has been a guy who has been constantly upgrading the skills, learning new technologies. So let's talk to this person first before even we go outside and look for a resource, whether this person can handle what we are planning for. Now, when you go through that, you are obviously selected, because first, the organization always gives the first preference. We need to understand, as an employee, the organization always gives the first preference to its existing employees, irrespective of the HR policies, because an existing employee knows the process better, knows the reporting better, knows the hierarchy better, already has established an interpersonal connectivity, has already gone through the process. So all that time saving that the organization can do without you being again retrained in the process, or everything else, the reporting procedure and everything, it's a huge save. It's a huge save for the organization. So they will obviously consider you as the best resource for the next position. But for that, you have to keep your CVs updated as per the role. You have to keep your certificates updated with all the license number and everything mentioned in the LinkedIn profile. And your LinkedIn profile should be a real-time when that real-time situation appears in your CV, you are a best resource as per the organization. The organization also accepts you very, very, comfortably, in irrespective of, you being into the process altogether. So you have a better scope of going for that, position much better than the outsider. So first thing is upgrade your skills constantly for new dimensions, new perspectives, and new responsibilities. Second thing is keep your CV, keep your certificates, keep your documents, the portfolios absolutely updated. It should not be, like the CV which you actually, So guys, as I was mentioning, see, the moment your CV is updated, your documents, your certificates are updated, you have a absolutely updated LinkedIn profile. Your profile is automatically positioned much better in terms of an employee search outside the organization. Your profile updated with the skills, the trainings, the certificates that you have done, when that is being reviewed by the present HR and the management, they also get this message that this guy is constantly upgrading the skills because he is looking forward to a growth. Because only when they are upgrading their skills, their technical know-hows, the management gets this message that this guy is looking for a change and making, as we say, the preparation of the war. So this guy is all constantly updating his skills, his knowledge, his know-hows, because he's looking for new change. And this guy is a very, very potential resource when we are looking for new resource for the new process, new technology, and the new positions. The employee would be much more happy, confident, and comfortable in adopting you into the process, which might involve a different kind of training, but bringing somebody outside the organization would involve a lot of other training which might be time consuming, like a process training, reporting training, internal department training. These things will take up time, which for you will not be required. You are already aware of the processes, of all the reporting, of all the hierarchy, of all the kind of interdepartmental connectivity and the way things goes on. All that requires to be done is a few brush up of the new roles, responsibility, related skills. You already have upgraded your skills, which is eminent from your CV and your LinkedIn profile. And with a bit of hand-holding, you will be immediately delivering what you're looking for. So as an employee, that leaves a wonderful scope for you to grow within the organization. You don't have to look for a change in a job role or a job position or a job profile outside the organization. So guys, that is one way of growing in a long-term vision with an organization, which is adding value to your CV. At the same time, your loyalty also would be taken into consideration. Third, most foremost point, whenever you are applying for a new position within your organization or you're looking for a job change, is please remember, it is not, as I have always mentioned, WIFM. WIFM is a short form of what is in it for me. Now, if you are always thinking about what is in it for you only in terms of your higher salary, higher perks, greater rewards and recognition, see, that is not always the right way of looking into it. You need to, as an employee, you need to make the employers believe that with the new responsibility, when they consider you for the position, you will be delivering much better, much more, and you will be adding values to what the process is already. You will, the employers are not wrong in terms of expecting these things from you, because if it was a new resource, that new resource would be briefed on his deliverables also, right? So when the employers are expecting new responsibilities, new way of looking at the things and better results, you have to come up to that management with that kind of confidence that yes, I look into this position as my way of delivering much better, improving the existing system, bringing new process, bringing new development, utilization of the resource, of the manpower, of the man hours, and everything. So when you show the employers their benefit part, you don't really have to negotiate with that salary increment or reward or recognition and such. So guys, please remember, these are the three main aspects which you need to consider the next time you're thinking of a job change. First is constant upgradation of your skills, right? Learn new technology, learn new things, learn new processes. Second is constantly updating your profile with the updation of the skills which is happening, your CV, your LinkedIn profile should portray the kind of responsibility that is required by the employer for that present position. It cannot be you have updated your LinkedIn profile 2 years back, you have updated your CV 5 years back when you applied for the job, and you use the same CV. One size does not fit all. If it is a new position that you're applying for, if it is a new role that you're applying for, the CV has to be restructured accordingly. Third and the foremost is, please show the employers what you are bringing for them on the table. The kind of profit, the kind of benefit that you bring for the organization, the employers understands that you are taking care of their requirement. You understand their perspective in terms of profitability, in terms of betterment of the process, in terms of better utilization of resources. When they see that, but obviously they will be happy about it, right? So they would also reconsider everything related to your position, the roles, responsibility, the rewards, recognition, the salary, and everything. So guys, for the next time you're looking for a change, please consider looking for a change within the organization, because that adds a lot of value to your CV, that adds a lot of value to your loyalty, that adds a lot of weightage to what you learn. Because when you're in an organization, you learn different types of process, you learn different types of technologies, you learn to handle a different type of teams, different resources, which in the long term adds up to a cumulative effect of your profile. So guys, next time you're looking for a change, please reconsider these 3 points. And with that, I sign off today. And as I mentioned, please like our Facebook page, which is Career Counseling Online. We have the our website, which is careercounselingonline.co.in. Please visit that. We have some lovely things going out there. We have some nice blogs, nice write-ups, and you can join our interactive sessions and interactive group in LinkedIn, which is Career Counseling Online. So with that note today, I leave you, and take care of yourself, learn, contribute, and evolve.